going up, we're going forward, doing it every day, the Pierre way. We're going up, we're going forward, doing it every day, the Pierre way. We're going up, we're going forward, doing it every day, the Pierre way. We're going up, we're going forward, doing it every day, the Pierre way.
Hello, hello, hello.
It's Robe.
And I'm Meima. And this is the Pierre Way podcast. Back to you guys with another episode. Happy November.
It's November 1st.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is around the corner.
We're about to enter the second leg of our household's birthday season.
Birthday. Your birthday's coming up.
My birthday's coming up. Jamie, our second, her birthday's coming up.
Our birthday's coming up. And all the Christmas folks are going crazy.
Oh, been going
Mariah
crazy.
Carey's going crazy already.
All I want for Christmas.
That's how it sounds. I don't know if that's how it sounds,
Listen, but this is
happy November, everybody.
It's a really exciting time. This really fun time of the year, ending the year strong.
Yes.
Ending the year strong. So for today's episode, all of our topics are pretty fun, great. We really enjoy them. But this topic, I feel like, is the one.
You like it. We're in it, right?
We're in it. We gonna talking today about our health and fitness journeys. All right. So, babe, I'm gonna throw it to you because you not too long ago hit a major goal and were really public about it on your personal social.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your road and your journey.
Ooh, so, I've always been big in my. That's just what it is. I was born fat. That's what my mom says. That's what my aunt says. That's what my cousins says. Everybody's telling me. They told me when I got to Haiti at 3 months old, I was so big I didn't fit in the car seat.
Can you stop?
And then they said, no, my sisters always say that. And my sisters are close to 10 years older than me. The oldest Ann is 10 years older than me. Yardley's maybe 6-7 years older than me. And they said they used to get in my car seat and sit and be fine. It's me at 3 months
I will never
old.
forget your mom telling me when we first started having children, with you in bottles.
In the middle of the night, when I woke up crying, I needed 3 bottles back to back full of milk.
Boom,
switch
boom.
it all exactly. So I was just born big. I mean, that's what everybody says. Oh, you big boned. That used to be my.
That's not a thing, guys.
I know, but that's what was said to me. And so, high school, big robe, that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
I was always big. I never saw anyone kind of put their health and fitness as a priority. I didn't grow up seeing any man do that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Health was a big deal in my family when someone got sick.
Yeah.
When someone was dealing with an illness, that's when health came up, but it was never anything that came up out of, maintenance. So high school, college, ate whatever I want, whenever I wanted, then started ministry on the road, just did whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
As far as eating wise, there was no mention of it at all. And then I think I peaked probably after our first year of marriage. Mm-hmm. I peaked.
What do they say? You know how in college they say freshman 15?
Yes.
Is it marriage? I don't know if there's a number to it,
more
but
so
that marriage
a marriage
weight,
25.
No, that marriage weight was
that
was
first
hefty.
year of marriage,
it's for both of us though. It was
a lot. And so I peaked as far as 320 pounds. I remember we went to the Bahamas and it was okay, we got to do something about this weight. And I was well, let me see how much I weigh now. And, usually hotels don't be having scales in the bathroom in the Caribbean, but it did. And I went and I got it and stood on it and I took the picture. And that's the picture I share right now. It's 318 some odd pounds. I took the picture. And then after that, you thought something was going to change? No. It didn't.
I love that you can laugh about this though.
No, it just didn't. It was more ups and downs. I think it was just that. And then we talked about in the Bahamas though, you were pregnant when we went. You just hit 3 months. That was our baby. We just hit 3 months. And that was with our first. And I was if we're about to have a kid, I need to get healthy. And I think that's one of the first times that it switched for me. That accompanied with the fact that I had started as a young adults pastor at Jubilee, and our senior pastor, our spiritual father, one of the lessons he taught me was like, Robe, before you get up and say anything on a stage, you have already preached a message. He's like, the way you look, your life, the way you walk up, what people already know, your message is already like 80% preached before you even touch the stage. And so he's like, so you got to work on your health. You got to live a life that can be preached.
Yeah.
You know, and so that ministered to me. And then I started to think about like just the life I wanted to give to my daughter. And so that just shifted something in me.
Yeah.
And so started working out, started eating right. And I remember at the baby shower, I think I had hit like 270.
Okay.
And then, you know, it was up and down from there.
Yeah.
And that was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
So this journey of when I actually started 7. Robin just turned 7.
Yeah.
So that was 7 years ago. And it's been up and down. And then as of recent, when RJ, I think I wanted to be healthy for my children, and that you know, started it. But our son, you know, I wanted to pass. I said I made him a commitment. In the womb, and I remember saying, man, I don't want my son to have a memory of me being unhealthy.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't want him to even know what his dad looked like. I told him, I was like, I don't even want him to know what his dad looks like being overweight. And so, and I started to do that because I'm a man of my word.
Yeah.
When I commit to something, I want to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So I knew that if I made that commitment, it was going to get done.
Yeah.
And so it was like my children that kind of did it. And then I saw the control that I could have over my body. I saw like, oh my gosh, like food doesn't have to rule me. Like my cravings don't have to rule me.
Right.
Like I can make this like be subject to what I want it to be. And so at that point, I was like, okay, I got to like 250. I was like, let me see what I could do for myself. Like, I like my arms. I like that I could shop at Zara now. You know, I don't have to force myself into these Zara European clothes. Muscle. I like my tricep muscle. Listen. I was like, let me see what I could do. And then I just started to lose weight for myself. Yeah. And so that was the big thing. But I'll say, you know, when it comes to my health journey, it was my children. Like I get emotional thinking about it because I want to give them a life I didn't have. A lot of my childhood was spent with parents being sick, or my mom, or my dad. I didn't know my dad. He passed away from illness. I was 3 months old. My mom, my biological mom, passed away when I was 13. And it was all illness, just different things just that could have been prevented, but because of decisions. And so I know the emptiness. And so when I started to have children, I was like, I can't pass that on to them. Yeah. So I didn't want to pass that to my 3 kids. And when I had control over it, I think that's like one of the things that pushed me. I wanted to give them a legacy of health and wellness. And I started to think about the life I was going to give them in their 20s and 30s and 40s when I'm in my 60s and 70s. I'm like, I want to protect that. And so the purpose behind it just was driven by the life I wanted to give to my children as a father. Yeah. I didn't care about myself enough to do it in college, or I didn't care about myself enough in my young adulthood. But like when you showed me that pregnancy test, something just switched. It was like, I'm not just living for myself. I'm living for my children. So I had to do it. I had to do it.
That is just so...
Ooh, not y'all having me cry on this podcast.
Listen, we told y'all from episode 1, we're going to laugh and we're going to cry. It's all good. It's all good. No, babe, but I mean, I publicly say this on the podcast, and I say this to you in private all the time. It's like, I'm so proud of you. This is my first time hearing the depths of of where this is coming from you. I always knew it was about the kids. I always know, like, ever since I showed you that pregnancy test, that you were like, oh, okay. Like, you literally, like, hit the ground running from day one of showing you that test of Robin. And then same thing with Jamie and same thing with RJ. But I'm proud of you because you have always stayed the course, and you've always been so determined to get to your end. So whether it was a 290 goal or a 275 goal or 250 goal, and now being like 220, like you've always, something I love about you, something we talk about all the time, and I think is really the essence of this podcast, is when it comes to our health fitness, the destination, right, versus the journey. You have always been a destination focused person, right? Like, you're like, this is the goal and I have to get to it. At some points in time, it was because of your kids. At some points in time, it was because of health reasons, thinking about, your parents and growing up. And probably even now for you, it's, you want to live a long life.
Right.
You want to live a long life for your kids. And I commend you for that. And so I just want to say publicly, like, I'm proud of you.
Thank you,
for doing that work. Like, you're doing amazing. You look, I mean, you were always sexy to me, but you look extra sexy. Okay. And, no, like, you rock, you're really rocking it. You're really rocking hard with it.
Yeah. I think it's easier when you have a purpose that's greater than yourself. And I think for anyone that's trying to, like, lose weight or get healthier, it's like, it can't just be because you want to look good.
Yeah.
It can't just be because you want good pictures or you want this.
Absolutely.
It's like, what is the greater goal that's so much bigger than you? And that shifted everything for me.
Yeah.
Because it was more like a Big Mac, me eating it was more than just, it's not just about me being satisfied.
Right.
It's what it can do to my children.
Right.
It's me waking up and going to the gym every day, and them knowing when they get up, oh, daddy just went to the gym, he's coming back before we go to school. They're gonna remember that.
Yeah.
And the goal is that when they're in their adulthood, they wake up and they go to the gym.
Yeah.
They work out, they go for a run.
Yeah.
And doing that. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like, these are the things, like, we were thought that definitely more is caught than taught. And so when they see us working out in the living room, when they see me and the guys outside in the driveway running and doing a bunch of stuff, and we take them to the track and we run a couple miles or whatever, it's like they're catching something.
Yeah. I think that speaks to a little bit of my health journey, but also, like, where we are as a family. So my health journey was, people didn't really exercise in my household. Like, that wasn't really a thing. Like, I think we had, like, a treadmill at one point my dad was using, but you know how that goes. You got a treadmill and then you use it for 6 months and then nothing. Right. So, but, like, that was kind of just it. I was super active in high school. Like, I did cheerleading. I did other sports.
Yes, she's my cheerleader.
Yes, I was a cheerleader. Ooh, okay. Back spot. For
But
those of
babe,
y'all trying
y'all-
to say I don't know what I'm doing. Okay.
No, I went to the games.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but now I was pretty active just in everyday life. And then, in college, like, there's a gym. So, like, you do the gym here or there for fun, but, like, right, you're not really working out, right? You're just for cake. So I was active in life, but it was never, like, a prominent, important thing. And so I remember actually getting ready for the wedding. I called it sweating for the wedding.
Yep.
That was probably the first time in my life where I really was, like, working out and eating super clean. Cause, right, you want to have that body and, like, look your body goals for your wedding day. And so we got to the wedding day, and then, as you know, the first year of marriage, gained a ton of weight together. Like, we both did.
Right.
And then I remember, like, we used to go to BC and, like, work out with our good friends, with Anita and Joey, to go work out with them. So, like, we were trying to be active, but it just wasn't a main priority in our life.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know that. We didn't see that growing up. And illness was, like, in my family as well.
It wasn't in our vision.
It wasn't in our vision. My grandmother passed away. Like, she had diabetes. She pregnancy body. And then we got pregnant with RJ, and you know, we can get into a different episode, but with RJ, there was a lot of different complications while he was in utero, and so as a result, I had an emergency C-section, and I wasn't prepared for that mentally, physically, emotionally, all the ways, and so that was the first time in my life where I realized, like, I guess when you talk about having control over your body, that was the first time in my life where I felt like I didn't have much control over my body. Because it was like, it sounds bad, but like, it's how I make light of it. I just got sliced and diced to get this baby out.
Right.
Like, I gotta recover and then, take my time to figure myself out. And then maybe somewhere along the way, I'll think about losing weight. But that's not really a priority right now. I'm just trying to live. Like, that was the priority. And so I feel like for me, that was the first time when I realized, like, okay, I got to figure out my health. Like, I got to take more control of my health. Yeah, I'm seeing, like, going to get my physical every year. And sure, like, I don't have illness in my body right now, but I need to do better at being proactive about it. And so it was after having our third child that I really started, I want to get back in the gym. Yeah. And so I don't know if you remember, but that's when I started to go see a trainer.
Yep.
So I started to go seeing a trainer. Shout out to Naldine. That's my girl. She held me down. she's amazing. She's amazing. Because everybody saw just the changes happening to my body. Yeah. And I felt good in my body. I think that's what it was. I think after having baby number 3, for whatever reason, I didn't feel like myself in my body. Yeah. I felt like my body, I had no control over it.
You're huge in that. Like, for me, I don't care if I am hurting. I don't care about, I'm trying to get to the goal, but for you, the experience of it all, the journey of it all, you want to experience it in a good state. Yeah, you want to enjoy. Like, I'm not gonna be miserable and be healthy. No, we got to figure out a way for it.
Because at some point it was like, oh, this is a lifestyle change. Right. So for me, it wasn't good enough to say I want to be a certain number on the scale and just get there. Because for me, like, this is just really who I am, and it's not good. Once I get to that number, I'm gonna go to McDonald's and eat whatever the heck I want. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna splurge. I'm like, I work hard for this. I'm doing whatever I want.
And that's not what you want.
And that's not what I want. I didn't want to gain it all back. I didn't want it to be get to a goal, gain it all back, get to a goal, get it all back. It's like this is a lifestyle change.
It's where we bump heads all the time.
It's where we bump heads all the time. Like, you are destination, I'm journey. Yep. I'm very much so. I need the journey to feel good. I need the journey to make sense. And if it's a slow journey, I'm okay with it. If it takes me a year to lose 10 pounds, I'm okay with it. Right. You'll be like, what the heck is going on? What am I doing wrong? I gotta drink a tea. I gotta drink water. I can't eat today.
I gotta get to the destination. Yeah. But she's like, listen, I gotta lose 10 pounds. I'm gonna enjoy this ride.
Enjoy the ride. If it takes me 12 months to lose 10 pounds, hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
This is terrible. We still bump heads about it all the time.
Yeah, no.
I'll never forget the time where you asked me to hold you accountable.
Oh, that was the worst thing I could have ever said.
Okay, babe, you losing all this weight. I'm back in the gym. Hold me accountable, etc. I was like, okay, cool, I got you. So then one day I was sitting there watching TV, and like Uber Eats or DoorDash or something comes to the house. Yeah, and she orders like Haitian food.
I think it was.
And it was like fried. It was fried.
It was good,
and it was fried pork, like grill. It was, she knows that's my favorite too. I was like, I can't believe you out here eating this. It was like fried foods and everything. It was terrible.
It was so good.
And I was just like, you are not about to just like, yes, I am. That's just how I'm feeling.
And I had a soda with it.
She had an orange soda. She had an orange soda with it. And she was like, that's how I'm feeling today. And it's okay. I do not need to just go crazy all the time, etc. I go to the gym 3 times a week. This is my time, etc.
That's what I said.
I was like, you asked me to hold you accountable. So I got up and she didn't see it. I had the orange soda and I went to the island. I opened it and I started pouring the orange soda.
You see, like literally just from up high.
She was like, Robertson. She was like, I can't believe you just, and the whole entire soda, I poured it into
There was people over the house when that happened. I feel like
I don't know. They came later.
Oh,
they came later, and you were so angry.
I was pissed.
I was like, may you always remember this picture.
No, he was. You see how rude? Like, I was just like, and then so we had to have a serious conversation about that. It's like I think we used to bump heads because we both were trying to be like, you're wrong and you're wrong. Yeah. And I think we've come to a space where we realize it's not about whether either person's right or wrong. It's just what works for us. Right. Right. And we're okay with that. So, if you say 220 is where I need to be, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get to 220. You're doing things that not just me, many people be like, Robe, that's a bit much.
Yeah. But you've helped me with that.
That's true. I think
it's not, one person is not right. I think it's if we come in the middle,
That's
we can
true.
complement each other. Because there was like a time where I was like working so hard to reach this goal. It was like once I hit 235 and I was trying to reach 220.
Yeah.
I was working so hard. I would come home from the gym. Like some days I would work out twice a day.
Yeah.
And like my body would be like in so much pain and all that stuff. And I would be so strict with my dieting and it would like affect my mood and all this stuff. And so one day I was like, you know what? I'm just going to eat what I want today.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have done that if that wasn't for you. I was like, you know what? Nope. I'm going to have some ice cream. You know, I'm going to have pizza with the kids.
I remember you did that. And I was like, are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, I
was like,
are you okay?
Is something wrong with
what
you?
happened? You're having pizza? I was just like, yeah, no, it's okay. Because tomorrow's a new day and I can enjoy this right now. Every single day doesn't have to feel like I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do that. And it's all in like moderation.
Yeah.
And that's something that you've helped in making the journey not feel so much like, you know, a boot camp.
Yeah, because you're reworking your mind.
Exactly.
Right? Like think about like what we just said about how we grew up and our views on fitness.
Yeah.
But even now looking at our children, they may not go to the gym with us to work out with us, but they see how important working out is. They see how important eating clean, eating healthy is, and they desire it.
Yeah.
Like we keep no juice in the house.
Yeah.
We only have water. Our kids don't even like ask for it because they just know it's not here.
Right.
When we go out to
They'll
parties
drink.
and birthdays and all that stuff, 1,000%. Like, yeah, girl, you know, have your juice, have your little drink, it's fine.
Vacations, they'd wake up and drink all that.
Yeah, they
but
do whatever
like,
you want. But it's like at the end of the day, you know, the standard and the norm is water, like in this house. And I think it's important. Like, it's not that, yes, it's important. And I think, like, I don't want to make it like a thing, but like, there are some families out there who may be different than us.
Yeah.
Fitness is clearly a part of their everyday life.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's evident.
You're trying to say you don't want to make it a black thing.
I don't.
Okay.
But like, the reality of it is, I remember like my white friends in the neighborhood would get up every morning and go ride bikes with their families.
With their families,
and
yeah.
I'd be like, what are y'all doing? Why y'all doing that? And now I'm like, oh, I get it.
You get it. You get it. But when you think about this, it's like, I think obesity, my Asian, obesity is so, it's a part of the black experience because sometimes the trauma that we've had as African Americans or as black people, we let's be real, we didn't even have time or space to think about our personal health. A lot of it was spent on thinking about survival.
Right.
Like, how are we going to survive?
Right.
How are we going to make it?
Right.
And so that consumed our time.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have time to go work out. We had to work.
Yeah.
We had to make
Yeah.
money and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And that got passed on from generation to generation.
Yeah.
And so when you look at our counterparts, it's like, that's not where they are. So now we're breaking that trend because your mom and dad, like my parents, they worked so hard.
Yeah.
They were going to work. They didn't have time to go to the gym.
Yeah.
When they got home, they were sleeping
Right.
or taking care of us, making sure we had everything we needed to go to school
Right.
and all that stuff. So
Right.
of course they were gonna have that piece. And so now we're blessed enough to be in a different space. We have to kind of break that mold and introduce our children to something that could get them ahead in life.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things I think about when we talk about health and fitness is like, why? Like, why make it a part of your everyday life? Why is it so big that we're eating right, we're exercising?
I want to live all the life that God has set up for me.
Come on.
If the Lord promised me 80 years, not only live to 70 because I didn't treat this body right, I'm robbing myself of the gift that God already gave me.
And you robbing of the people that love you.
Exactly.
It's like I think about like your grandmother's so special to you when you think about her and you talk about her all the time. Like, it's like that time that you had with her was so special.
Right.
You being the oldest, you helped take care of her on all these different things. And it's just like, I think about like, oh man, I want my children's children.
Absolutely.
I want to spoil them. I look at like what your parents are doing to our kids. I like what our spiritual parents are doing to our kids. They spoil them, they love them. I want to be there. And so the decisions we make as millennials, the decisions we make now, like I think about it now, like, man, I'm taking care of my 75, 80-year-old self.
Yeah. And I think the mindset around that too is like, while I know we all eat right and work out because we want to look a particular way, we also have to like understand that that may not be the end result or the end game of it. And so part of me being a journey person is like there are things in my body that I want to change, right? Like I want the six pack, I want the abs, I want the flat, I want the tummy flat, right? Like those are things I want. But the reality of it is that it's like, if I never get that, but I'm in my healthiest version of myself because I eat right and I work out, then that's okay. You know? And so I think it's thinking beyond like your now and what you want right now, what you want next summer. It's like, you have to think about, okay, how is this going to give me to be here for as long as I can see my great grandchildren and beyond.
And the YOLO mentality has taken over this generation. It has taken over like the Gen Z and millennials, like our mindset. It's like, yo, let's live for today. And I think I think it's great in some retrospects, but however, you got to make sure you're making decisions that's going to benefit you tomorrow. Like I don't want to just look at my life and be like, oh my gosh, my 20s, my 30s, those were the good old days. It's like, I want to enjoy good days in my 60s. I want to enjoy good days also.
I want to be 70 years old and I can get on a plane and do whatever I want. And not to be on a wheelchair. Like, ain't nobody got to check for me. I'm mobile. Like, how beautiful is that?
Exactly. And I think there's more to life than today.
Yeah.
And so delayed gratification is a huge thing. Right. And so I think that's like really key. Can we talk about some practical things that has helped us in our fitness journey? Yeah. You want me to start?
Sure. Why not? What's your idea?
I think getting around people that are fit, that was huge for me.
I mean,
that was huge for me. So right now, the people that are closest to me, people I hang out with all the time, the people that are close to me, they all have a workout regimen. They all have goals. They all working out multiple times a week, and I think that changed everything. Yeah. As before, the people that I was and I love them, I was hanging out with a lot of people that wasn't their main focus. It was like, what we're gonna eat, what we're gonna do that. If you're gonna be around me in this season, I gravitate to people like they are going to the gym, they're eating, they're doing some challenge, they're doing a running challenge, or they're doing a 30-day challenge, and we're talking about like that. That completely changed my perspective because the days that I wanted to be lazy, I called them. Yo, what you doing? No, I'm at the gym. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, or it's like, what you want to do on Saturday? Yo, you want to work out? Like it's like it's one of those things. That's like, or you go to restaurants with them and they're not ordering the worst thing on the menu. Yeah. And while they can. And so those habits like begin to kind of almost come into me because I was around them. Right. Yeah. And I think if you want to do, if you want to pursue a health journey and you want to be healthy, you got to surround yourself with people that prioritize health and fitness because that'll help you to prioritize it.
Yeah. And to add on to that, I would say accountability is something important.
Like the way I hold you accountable.
So, okay. I think there's different kinds. So I think like your friend group, that's a form of accountability that you have. For me, my trainer was a form of accountability for me. Yes. Because she like was on it with me. Like she would be like, you need to be here. She
stalked your Instagram.
She would stalk my Instagram. Valdine would stalk my Instagram and be like, oh, so that's what you eating? I'd be like, wow, that's crazy.
And she would come up with a workout for you that week. Like, and it was like, this is because you had that meal you posted.
Like she would DM you on something like, yo, what are y'all doing?
I would send her stuff when we were ever.
One time I ordered food. I might have been even the same night that you dropped my soda.
No, it was a whole different night.
He took a picture and he DM'd it to my trainer and was like, you see what she's eating? Like, you see what she's eating? And I was like, wow, I have a whole workout with her tomorrow.
Yup, and she destroyed you that day.
And she destroyed me. Those like 100 burpees. Crazy. But I think accountability that works, right? So I knew for me what was going to help me was being accountable to people. So I needed my trainer to be accountable. I needed her to be the way that she was. Yeah. I needed you to sometimes be extreme with me because that's what I needed in those seasons. Sometimes I needed friends to be like, hey, we're not going out to eat. We're going to go on a walk instead. Yeah. So it varies in seasons. Like accountability doesn't have to be somebody who just calls you and like checks on you, but like it can look like different forms and you have to be able to be open to all the different ways of accountability. Yeah. So that's definitely something you want to have on your health and fitness journey is accountability. Yeah.
I would say the mindset that goes beyond health and fitness, but the mindset of knowing that your life and your decisions don't just affect you. Yeah. It's like this is beyond health and fitness. Right. But it has helped me in the health and fitness journey. Right. That like, yo, what I decide to do with my body, what I decide, like how I decide to live, it doesn't just impact me, it impacts everyone around me. And for the single folks, the non-married folks, the folks who don't have children yet, what you do right now still impacts your future.
Absolutely.
Your children's children.
Oh, absolutely.
It's still, you're doing, you may not be married now, you may not have children now, but you can create a lifestyle. You can begin to create habits for yourself that your children will be blessed by when they do come, that your marriage will be blessed by when it does happen. And I think just that mindset of like saying, man, my life is not my own.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm submitted to God, but also like I got to be submitted to these children and their future, and I got to set them up. And I think that shift definitely helped me as well.
Yeah. And then just for myself, and I think this is more, I speak from the aspect of the women who are out there who have had children and trying to like, you know, reclaim your body back, if you will. You know, it's like, give yourself grace, you know, like give yourself grace. You know, one excuse I used to always have was I never had time to work out because I was managing the household, the children, schedules. I was working in a season and not working in different seasons. But, you know, giving yourself grace is like, so I remember when I told you that, like, I just feel like I never have time. That was actually part of the reason why we come up with the schedule that we had with our kids. It was because it allowed me to have space to have time to go to the gym. And so, you know, take your time. Like, nothing happens overnight. Men obviously lose weight way faster than women. So, like, don't even try to compare all of these men. Because, like, if I was comparing myself to you, I would be like, not eating. Okay? Because I would be like, oh my God, like, this dude is like losing all this weight and I barely could lose a pound.
Right.
So, but know that, you know, take your time and give yourself grace, and just every day, just make a decision to consciously just be better, do better, make healthier choices. We've talked a lot about working out, but eating is a lot of it as well.
Eating is more.
Eating, what do they say? I think 80-20, I think they say.
Eating is so,
you know, really just like, if you need a nutritionist, get a nutritionist. Like, I had a nutritionist as well.
So in all that, invest.
Yes.
When we started to invest in our health and fitness, we started to see change.
Yes.
Gym memberships, trainers, like, and stuff like that. And
meal planning services. Like,
I'll say this for people who are listening, who's like, yo, I ain't got the money to do all that. The bulk of my weekly workouts are not with people that I pay. They're with people that I'm like, I'm begging, yo, can I just tag along with you in this workout? Like, can I, or people that I just ask, can I work out with you? Like, can you work, like, that are clearly showing, you know, proof that they are healthy and they have a good regimen and that stuff like that. So just invest in your health and fitness.
Investment is money. Investment is time. Investment is in resources. Is like, you know, and I think once you're able to move past those barriers of the excuses, when you have no excuse, then it's kind of just like, all right, we're doing this.
And one thing that my pastor always said to me that kind of helped me too is that you don't live to eat. You eat to live. When it comes to food, it's like you don't live to eat. Like, you're not here to just eat whatever, etc. You eat to live. So when you think about it that way, it's like you don't gotta like bend to every craving. You don't gotta bend to everything. Everything you see, you gotta have it. It's like, no, I don't live to eat. Ooh, that's ministering to your soul, baby.
Honestly, I also am like, one life to live. I eat whatever I want.
Right. But it's like, no, you don't live.
Like, if I want lobster every single day of the week, and crab legs.
Yeah, but it's like, you
boil.
You don't live to eat. It's like you eat to live. And then it's like finding pleasure in being healthy.
Yeah. No, that's real. Because remember, I told you, this happened actually not so long ago. I had told you, I was like, I feel like working out is a chore. And you were like, that's terrible. You shouldn't want to work out.
I'm like, you got to like, and begin to get yourself into a space where you enjoy the feeling.
Yes.
It's like, I remember one of our young adults minister at the church. I'll go to the gym. He's like, you don't love this? And I was like, no, but I think I should. Like, because if I don't love it, once I hit my goal, I'm done. So it's like making the gym a part of the experience that you love. I think it's like, I think it's really, really.
That's
really
why, like, I always, you know me, I'm always trying different things. Like, right now I'm trying to do Pilates. Class. I be doing Zumba classes. I be doing the trainer. I be doing the hikes. Like, because for me, I have to make it fun. I have to make it different. And I can't just go, like, right now I'm just going to the gym and I'm like, I'm bored. Like, I be on the treadmill and I'm like, I'm ready to go. Why am I here?
Right. And so that's another thing. Like, for us, for me, like on Thursday, Friday nights, whether we are at the gym and I got a group of guys, it's loud music and we're just going, it's like, that's fun. It's an activity. So don't just make it a miserable experience.
Yeah, it can be.
Like, combining it with something else is really, really important.
Yeah.
And last that I'll say is like realizing the body's a temple.
That's last.
And that's not just as it relates to sex. It's not just as it relates to the way you dress. That like your body is a temple is also about the way you treat it.
Right.
Like how you take care of yourself, how you go to the doctor, how you work out, how you eat healthy.
Right.
Is really, really,
right.
really
Right.
important.
Yeah. I hope y'all will like be in the comments and write in like what other tips and things that you need. You know, what else it is that you guys want us to talk about as it relates to the health journey. You know, we're still learning and growing in our health journey as well. Like, just because we have what we have right now doesn't mean that when you get to your goal, it's going to work for you. Doesn't mean that when I get to my goal, doesn't mean it's going to work for me. And so, like, share what you do as well. Like, I want to hear what other people are doing.
Please. Like, how do you make it part of a lifestyle beyond the goal?
Yeah,
Is
like,
key.
what workouts are you doing? You might find me at the Pilates class, okay, if you're local. But ultimately, babe, like, what is? I know we said a lot that could be the Pierre way, but to sum it all up, what is the
I think it's that last bit.
way?
The Pierre way is realizing that your body is a temple.
Yeah.
And it's a temple that blesses everyone around you.
Yeah.
And so you got to take care of it.
Yeah.
That's the Pierre way. It's like, it's what you do to you affects you and God. Right. And it affects everyone around you.
Right.
And so because it's a temple, you got to steward it well. You got to take care of it. Yeah. You got to do what needs to be done to make sure that you are your best self. Yeah. And you treat yourself with love and, like you say, with kindness and grace. Yeah. But you treat it as the temple that it is. It's and that's the hope. If you got anything from this episode, that you are special and that body of yours is special, and God has given you the strength and the ability to take care of it. Right. And so your body's a temple, steward it well. Your children depend on it. Your circle depends on it. Yeah. You depend on it.
Oh, look at you, Pastor.
Terrible. Terrible.
Well, y'all, thank you for joining us today on today's episode of The Pierre Way. Please make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, share this with folks, share with us what it is that you all are doing and how your health and fitness journey is. Yeah. Maybe we'll hold each other virtually accountable. Who knows?
Virtually. Listen, let us know like where you at and what's tough, what's been working, what's good. Yeah. Let's be a community to one another because we're going onwards and upwards.
Good job. All right, family. We'll
Love
see y'all next time.
Peace.
We're going up, we're going forward, doing it every day, the Pierre way.